All right. Welcome back to another show, everybody. This is You Made Roscoe. I happen to be Roscoe. And today's show, we have my partner in crime, OG Zoe. We also have my other partner in crime. He's Apocalypto Joe, but it says Joe V down there. But he's both he's both people, you know.
He's
but
a man of many faces.
Yeah, you guys are probably seeing him for the first time on You Made Roscoe. He's me and him. This is my collaborator on the Warheads network. The other half of the Warheads, and like for more than a year or so, we have been doing like some great work over there. So whenever you guys get a chance, checking out these react and review shows, go over to the Warheads and check us out over there. But today's show, we're gonna be putting a spotlight on an artist named Mesus. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with Mesus and his work, but we're going to be doing a review and react to his song New World, the remix to New World Order, which we actually did a react and review to Tom McDonald's version, which is the original version of the song. But this guy Mesus, who happens to be another conscious artist, he decided to put out a redo 12 hours after Tom McDonald put out his thing. So, shout out to this guy for his work ethic. But I'm going to let Zoe go ahead and start playing the song. We'll give our commentary and all that stuff, during and afterwards. So you can go ahead, Zoe.
Hey, listen. The world been out of order, ain't nothing but it new. People glued to the news, but ain't nothing but the truth. That's why I never ever watch it, and neither should you. These news feeds feed you the flu, keeping you spooked. Here's a thought, thinking's free, try it sometime. Cause you out your mind if you thinking these riots and crime. Talking about reparations, I don't know you a dime. My boys can't pay my bills, I had to go out.
I had to stop it because I heard him say the parts about you crazy if you think rioting ain't a crime, and that's gonna be a point of contention, because no, and I just know that like in the black neighborhoods, just to be keeping it a stack with everybody, but in the black neighborhoods, when one of these crazy things where like the cops kills somebody or something like that starts this big public outcry, which leads to looting and rioting, and a lot of black people may think that that's the right thing to do, is to destroy your own neighborhoods and everything around you that you actually need. But I agree with this guy. They're saying that it's a fucking crime. Why would you do this shit? But get y'all thoughts on that little part up to this point.
Well, I think.
No, go ahead. So
I think it basically just goes off of you're only hurting yourself if you do that type of shit. I mean, there's no build. You don't build back. I mean, look at over South Side, Minneapolis, Minnesota, man. They're not coming back for a while.
Yeah.
And that's even if they do come back. I mean, a lot of these businesses, they don't want to put themselves in a spot where you could just, off of a day's notice, just go out of business and be out, So, I mean, there's ways to go about shit.
Y'all are like a year or so removed from, the thing that happened with y'all. So to hear that.
And all the people that were saying they were going to help, they ain't helping. And if they are, it's minimal.
That's crazy.
Just the way that it is. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that are out of business that were actual business owners. And I mean, you got to think it hurt a community that was so mixed. Like it's crazy over there.
Joe, what's your initial thoughts up to this point?
I was, it's a duality to this whole thing about looting. They make it seem like, okay, there are times when college kids, if you can call them kids anymore, after 18, you're not a kid. College adults will riot and loot after a game. But I'm going to assume that this Mesus person is talking about when an injustice has been perpetrated in the streets. Am I right or wrong?
Right. We can assume that.
Okay, so there's this thing called causality, cause and effect. If Kavanaugh takes his neck off of George Floyd's neck, his knee off of George Floyd's neck.
You mean Chauvin? It was
Chauvin.
not
I'm
Kavanaugh.
sorry, not Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh's a Supreme.
Chauvin.
Go ahead, man.
If he takes his knee off of George Floyd's neck, there's no need to riot.
Hey,
causality.
We're gonna continue through the song.
I was gonna say that's a touchy.
That's a heck of a point. That's a heck of a point, man. Let's continue through the song and we'll see what's up.
Crime, talking about reparations. I don't know you a dime. My white skin ain't pay my bills. I had to go out and grind, and there it is. They convince us we different. Can walk a mile in your shoes if I'm tripping about pigment. Stealing rights left and right, but we can't fight infringement because we rather die over pride than unite for existence. I used to battle rap, but now my raps battle a war. And the war in black versus white. It's the rich versus the poor. So big corporate stayed open. Mom and pops closed doors. So who you really scared of? COVID, a new world order. Breaking the rules and just
now that line hit home. That line hit home because I am in Chicago. So what he said right there is real. I don't know where this dude is from, you know what I mean? But shit, dude, that shit is real. You got to show papers everywhere, and it's crazy, dude. I never thought that I was just having this conversation. I don't know if it was with you, Zoe, a couple of days ago when we were saying how we never thought that we be at this point where we are kind of basically China, you know what I mean? But lo and behold, but y'all thoughts?
Go ahead, Joe B, if you have something to say.
Well, I was just thinking about the line when you press play. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, something about he don't owe us reparations. He grind every day. Yeah. I don't think the argument about reparations is about individual Caucasians as much as it is about this country. America has paid reparations to Jewish survivors of the Holocaust, Japanese people who were in internment camps during World War II. And so it may be a touchy subject, but I don't think that the initiative to try to go about getting reparations is on individual whites. America has profited 1,000-fold from the slave trade through cotton, tobacco, sugar, textiles, as well as other things. If you can imagine not paying a particular class for hundreds of years, anything, no wages, no insurance, just go out there and take babies and put them in the field too. But no, we're not trying to get reparations from you, Mesus. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't. After the 1900s, most people were trying to work. We had already been in the industrial age for a minute then. And so now it's just a matter of, how do we balance these scales? Because it is about wealth, building wealth and whatnot. But I hear what he's trying to say, but I'm on the other side of that issue.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. That's a great point. I'll let Zoe continue.
I was going to say, I think in this day and age where it's 2020, where you got little kids making millions off of YouTube, I think everything is kind of like what you put into it at that point. And so that's what he's saying, where there should be no need for reparations, that there's plenty of money out here for people who are trying to get it. And I think that's what he's saying.
Well, he said so he made it personal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, because that's what he was saying. He was saying, I don't owe you, like all this talk about reparations, which it just
No, but I get,
because it would just keep, it would just, like, honestly, like, would do you really think reparations would help?
I think in certain hands.
Because, well, you got to think about how they would go about to dividing that to people that were actually hurt by it. There would be a lot of people that are going to be hurt by the fact that they weren't hurt by it, and they're not getting their reparations.
Here, let's do this.
So it goes deep. It's a weird shit, but I mean, you just think about a bunch of shit like that, and I don't know. It's definitely like that's such a deep subject to touch into. You know what I mean? Because really, I think, of course, I'm going to think that there's a huge amount of validity in what Joe V said about just the efforts that Black people have, everything that we put into building up the country, only to get nothing from it, really. And the point that he made about, you know, some of these other groups receiving some type of compensation, but you know, to go over to what you were saying, Zoe, I do think that if we're not putting the money into the right people's hands, then we're probably not doing anybody any good by just throwing money at an issue, you know, to say that it's rectified. Again, it's something real deep. We're going to continue through the song, and then we can get like our commentary afterwards.
You don't think Biden a dictator? Do me a favor, try to buy food in Chicago without showing your papers, not even hiding their behavior, straight up showing their haters. They get caught breaking the rules and just laugh like makers. Do as we say, not as we do, it's all I see. And y'all might be okay with that, but y'all ain't me, and y'all ain't free if y'all can't see that we can't speak out and shout that Biden needs to be impeached. You can't tell me that these mask mandates make any sense. It's like trying to stop mosquitoes with a chain link fence, and a jab ain't any better, but they'll take your checks if you don't take it, even though the vaccinated on vents. And then to make it worse, they try to say there ain't no beds when there's plenty of beds, but you'll believe anything Joe says. Truth is, there's no jobs because you destroyed them like a border, because you're employed by the New World Order, motherfucker. Way back when women would actually act like men and never bow down to this New World Order. Hey, your money don't make you God, all you do is making God laugh at your cute little. I got 100 more songs about these pricks in power, but I'd rather use these last bars to live with power. And by live with power, homie, I mean lift up power. Voices together, so let me start by giving out flowers. Respect to Adam for ranting on Facebook first. We on the same team, but you ran that playbook first. And before you call this cloud chasing, better do your homework. I've known Adam forever, plus I'm viral of my own work. And Tom, I don't know you, but I agree with your logic. And would you do a song with Thomas constantly in my comments? And I don't need a feature, homie, I'ma do me regardless. But I think that it's obvious that we're both similar artists. And on a note of similar artists, shout out to Burden, shout out to Rez and Jimmy, see you out there working. Shout out to Webby and Bryson, and shout out to Topher and whoever else I missed against this new world. Way back when women would actually act like men and never bow down to this New World Order. Hey, your money don't make you God, all you do is making God laugh at your cute little New World Order.
Okay, all right. That was Mesus with his rendition of New World Order. So what's your thoughts on it?
I think mainly the song is about like just bending the knee for stuff that you really don't believe in. It's getting a little bit less free for everybody here. And I think if people were able to see that for what it is and not let the stuff that the media and all the powers that be, they wouldn't, you wouldn't have to deal with, like, you could see the problem for what it really is. Like, we're all stuck in this together. And I think that we get divided so much by all these I don't want to say little things because they are profound to the individual that it affects, but in the grand scheme of things, to get past this, we need to work together. And I think that's why I'm glad he shouted out Bryson Gray. He's got a lot of controversial opinions, but like he raps, he doesn't curse. He's Christian rap. All his stuff has a positive message. And
we did a react and review to,
off of one of his songs. Yeah. But it was
this guy is a Christian, Mesus?
Yeah, Christian is a Mesus. Or Mesus is a Christian, yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead, so I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, but yeah, that's all I would really have to say is I think this basically just goes off of how everybody is like. It's crazy how like everybody sees government as a bad thing, but we invite it more and more in. Like sooner or later, it will be like China. I mean, you have to show papers to get food in places. You have to get this to do that, and
no, it's
I don't want to check all these boxes. I shouldn't have to.
No, you shouldn't. Apocalypto, I am so interested to hear like your thoughts on this.
As you can see, I'm coming to you live and direct from the moon because I don't want to be on that planet.
Yeah, no. It's a rough place to be out here. It's a rough place to be out here.
But I will say this about the Mesus guy. He reminds me, I don't know if you guys know the rapper Immortal Technique.
Yeah. I'm definitely
Immortal Technique.
He reminds me of Immortal Technique. They're in the same lane. I really love Immortal Technique. He talks about the whole political gambit, social issues, so on and so forth. The one thing that I picked up on is how he talked about the jab vacation, the vacation jab.
Yes.
And, new information is coming out about that stuff. But to kind of go along with what Zoe was saying in connection with what Mesus was saying in the song about mankind not sticking together, that guy's a Christian. That's why I was asking that question, because what he's talking about is actually prophecy. And I'll be brief. I just wanted to read this. This is from the book of Daniel.
Okay.
Every Christian should know this, but in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, it brings out when it talks King Nebuchadnezzar, who thought he was God. God had to humble him and make him a beast, but he had a dream. And in this dream, he saw this immense image with a head of gold, chest of silver, breastplate of copper, legs of iron, feet of iron and clay. But when he got to the toes, it says something very specific. And it says, and just as you saw the feet and the toes to be partly of iron and clay, the kingdom will be divided. Talking about the kingdom we're under now, this Anglo-American dual world power between America and Great Britain. But some of the hardness of iron will be in it, just as you saw the iron mixed with soft clay. And as the toes of the feet were partly of iron and partly of clay, the kingdom will be partly strong and partly fragile. Just as you saw iron mixed with soft clay, they will be mixed with the people, but they will not stick together one to the other, just as iron does not mix with clay. And so what Mesus is talking about when it's all these divisions out here, red, blue, Democrat, Republican, whatever, you name it, Crip blood, we're living in the end times. And that's what he's talking about. He's talking about mankind not being able to come together because there are more powerful demonic spiritual forces at work. And that's why I asked Zoe, like, is he a Christian? Because I feel like from Mesus's position, he should understand this. And maybe he's just rapping for the sake of rapping. But to get to the point of all this, there are forces at work that are outside of human control. And I'll leave it at that for now. I'll elaborate on it later.
Yeah. Just grading the artist and what we just heard. It was a lot of stuff going on up in there. A lot of great points that y'all made about what we heard. I heard the stuff, of course, about the jab in the song and people losing their, their ability to make money, but for not taking the jab, that type of stuff. There's a lot of layers. Again, when you're dealing with conscious rappers, they gonna give you a lot of layers, and that's what this guy gave you. But it was a lot to unpack. I will say that he, for one, his delivery and all that was great. I actually liked it. I liked the energy of it, and everything he was saying in the song. Pretty much, I'm kind of in line with, because of the fact that I try to put myself in other people's shoes when they're expressing their views and how they see things, and always try to be mindful of the fact, because I'm looking at this song and Mesus as just your typical white guy walking about. And let's say somebody was to ask him questions about any of these issues that he put forth in the song, this would be probably the typical responses that you would hear from your typical guy who he's just living his life, and you'll have some random anybody ask him about reparations, and that's going to probably be his responses like, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't me, So yeah, no, I try to think about those things from that standpoint. Again, just great song, great delivery. He put out a lot of stuff that, of course, made us talk about. It was great conversation fodder. So when you have songs and artists who are doing those type of things, I think it's important, because whether you're on one side or other on any of these issues, I think that the fact that we're talking about them just to try to see everybody's point of view is important, but I don't want to stretch this out too much longer. I do want to say that make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out all of our shows. Make sure that you can run through our shows. At the very least, just hit the like. Support us in what we're trying to do. Go over to the Warheads. That's DA Warheads with an X at the end instead of an S. So make sure that you go over to our page over there. Check out our shows where as you can see, my man Joe V is just one of the deepest thinkers I've ever come across, and you'll get a lot more depth. We just go crazy on the Warhead, so check out that stuff. Zoe is over there doing work with us too, so you'll see that as well. But just subscribe to the show, like I said, and check us out, and we'll give you great stuff. Also go over to You Made Roscoe on Facebook and check out any shows over there too. So any last words before we get up out of here, fellas?
No, I mean, I definitely like the song. I like Mesus. He's outspoken. I thought it was a good song.
Word, Joe.
Especially 12 hours after the
that man was he was faster than us.
He was determined. Like,
that man trying to beat us to the gun. You know what I mean? Like, what you got, Joe?
Nothing. Let's do a deeper dive. I like to go down rabbit holes.
No, Joe is gonna take this ride with us on a lot of these reacts as well, because he family. What else would we do? But you know what I mean? So we gonna do that then. You gonna probably see Apocalypto with us on a lot more of these upcoming. So let's do that. I guess until we get to the next song, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for supporting again. We really appreciate that, and we'll catch you guys later.
Deuces.